So you begin by breathing deeply, and in that breath, you allow yourself, in the name of today's session, and that always comes from the Blue Star, is a world of now. So we are breathing into the world of now. And now doesn't include just the seconds or the minutes or the hours. In fact, the now doesn't even include time. The now is all that is. It's everything that is throughout all creation that has ever been and ever will be. And as we breathe into that, and as we let go our breath to be a form on a planet, as we breathe into the world of now, we allow ourselves to relax our bodies, to let the bodies no longer be contained by the genetic blueprint, to let the bodies no longer to be contained by what you consider your skin, your exoskeleton, the outside form, but to really breathe in to now. And of course, to breathe into now, if you just try to categorize or catalog what everything is in now, you would never really let go. So you don't need to categorize anything. You just need to let go into the cosmic sea of creation, of which you are in, our planet is in, our solar system is in, not only our galaxy, but billions of galaxies. So as you breathe in now, you really grasp that with your mind, even the little mind. You let the little mind go, wow, it's big. Of course, big's qualitative from a small perspective. But the world of now is not qualified. It is just space, full of electromagnetic energy. So as you do this now, you allow yourself to become aware of your physical body that got you here, the one you dressed, the one you made up, the one you perfumed, the one that goes around with an idea of yourself. And you allow yourself to kind of let that body know that you are intimately connected to all that is. And that connection comes from your breath. So as you inhale, deep breath, you allow yourself to give yourself space inside your body. And that space permeates through all the organs of the body. It permeates through all the glands of the body. It permeates through the blood, through the vessels, through the bones. It permeates through your teeth, through your hair, through every aspect of the physicality of the vehicle that is your body. And it permeates outward from that. And this helps you level in this expanded world. Because that's what you're doing. You're leveling up. You're finding a new level of stability that's not stabilized simply by everyday life, but is stabilized by this grander cosmic design which is outworking on our earth and through us. And as you breathe in now, you pay attention to that body, and you recognize that from the top of your head all the way down through your center of your physicality, all the way down to the perineum, you have what is known as the antakarana, the central channel. It is the axis of electromagnetic frequency that is still very much connected to your solar consciousness. And of course, your soul is very much connected to spiritual consciousness. And spiritual consciousness, of course, is the world of now. It is not delineated by past, present, or future. It is. So as you breathe in now, you begin to breathe in from the top of your head, allowing that space to come down through the top of the head, through the crown chakra, through the third eye, inside your brain. There's a gland called the pineal. You let that space come to the pineal. You let that space come down to your throat. You let that space come down to your transpersonal chakra between the throat and the heart. You let that space come down to your solar plexus. And this is where often everybody begins to feel the muddledness, the clamping that goes on in the power chakra, in the survival area. So you let that space breathe into that solar plexus. You let that space go down to your second chakra, which again is where creation is. And again, that's quite often closed down in human beings. And then you let that space come down to the root chakra, right between the anus and the testes, or the anus and the vaginal opening, the perineum. And that's known as your root. And then you let that space go down through you. And you connect to the earth's Antakarana, the earth's central channel. And then you realize you and Mother Earth are electrically held in a field of magnetic energy. As you say to yourself, I open my physical body, I allow the magnetic calibration of the higher fields of space and consciousness to be breathed into this form. I allow the calibration to balance me in this higher frequency so that I can perceive the true potentiality held within my consciousness. And if your mind clamors, do not worry. You will hear this meditation again if you choose. With this now, we want you for a moment to visualize yourself as if you were a old-timey fishing bobbin. You see the bobbin would be blue and white, so red and white. You would see the red on the bottom and the white on the top, and you would see it floating on the sea. And for a moment, just allow yourself to feel you are like this red and white sphere of light, and you are floating on the sea of the cosmos. You are floating on the sea of consciousness, and you allow yourself to again begin to perceive that ocean of consciousness. And you allow yourself the plain physical dynamics of how a bobbin floats on the surface and how that is suspended by a cord from somewhere else. And through that bobbin, that cord goes down to another depth, depending on what's weighted and what's not weighted. And you use this very simple image to begin to feel you can relax in the sea of consciousness. You were meant to relax in the sea of consciousness. You were meant to stabilize a certain thread, a spectrum of frequency that is you in this cosmos. As you do this, you allow yourself to say, I open my emotional body. I let myself expand out of the smaller feelings and into the intuitive nature of my emotions. The intuitive nature of your emotions. You allow yourself to understand the emotions are intuitive. The emotions have intelligence. The emotions are a fabric of consciousness. And that fabric of consciousness is something you want to drop into now. And when you do, you will feel the richness that is there. This blend of richness, which is the sea of consciousness. that you perceive through your emotional body. And as you do this, you allow yourself to say, I open my emotional body. I let go the petty feelings I have carried from genetic imprint, from karmic imprint, from personal taste and distaste of the egoic mind. I receive the wisdom of the intuition of the emotional body that has been built through the ages by my soul. And as you drop into it, it is like walking into the most magnificent library, rich with stories, not just traumas, but stories and depth. As you do this now, you allow yourself to feel for a moment. We all know there's a satellite. When satellites started, there was just one satellite, but we all know there's tens of thousands of satellites now all around the earth. Each satellite is transmitting tens of thousands of millions of data bits, pictures, photos, every human being photographed, every email photographed, everything is in those satellites. And for a moment, we want you to feel yourself like you are a satellite. You are picking up energy and you are delivering energy. You are able to pick up electromagnets and you are able to send electromagnets. You're a connecting link of electromagnetism. But at the same time, just like a satellite that might be designed specifically to take photos of all the people on the planet or to read all the emails, it doesn't really matter what the purpose of the satellite is. It's a dedicated server. So we want you for a moment to tune into your mental body and realize that our minds, both lower and higher, are dedicated servers of data, of information, of consciousness. And then as you do this, just remember, and most of you have probably seen it, the image of the earth with all those satellites cluttering the space, almost inhibiting the space to be experienced by earth. And so this is what we want to use for our meditation with the lower mind. You allow yourself to be brave enough to not let the lower mind, with all its thoughts and ideas and accumulated judgments, be in control of your higher mind. And you might say, well, how can the lower be in control of the higher? Just like those satellites can stop energy coming to Earth because they're so full of the details of Earth. So as you do this, you allow yourself to say, I open my mental body. I silence the lower activity of the mental body, which is only focused on third dimensionality. I allow my higher mind to open to the frequencies of the solar consciousness I am, and to be at peace in the higher fields of energy. I welcome the opportunity to silence the lower so I can perceive the inflections of frequency that are coming from my own higher self. And with this, just allow yourself to feel your mind expanding, your mind going out of the chatter, out of the clutter, out of the ideas, and into space. It's a level of consciousness. It's known as the Buddhic mind, and everyone has one. And just for a moment, it has nothing to do with the concept of the religion of Buddhism. It has to do with the consciousness that was attained by a human when he got tired of the clutter of the world. And for a moment, Let yourself reach that Buddhic mind that you are and be fed and nourished by that silence and stillness, the silence that holds all things, and yet stops none, because it is at peace and at ease with now. As you do this now, you begin to allow yourself to perceive with this higher field of consciousness a ball of light that you are sitting within. A ball of light, and as you sit within it, you allow yourself, even though your body might be 80 years old or 14 years old or 50 years old, for a moment you let the body be like an embryo in this ball of light. You let your body just not have to be an identity. It's an embryo. It's not like the embryo in your mother. It's the embryo of the species. And you realize this ball of light has everything that you are needing now as you upgrade the physical form to be able to carry these higher frequencies of your solar consciousness. And you just feel that light body that you are, that etheric energy that you are. It expands in all directions from you. It's merging with others. There's no ego at this point to say, oh no, I don't want to get close to that person because I don't like the way their breath smells, or I don't want to get close to that person because I don't like their politics. We merge in the electromagnetic field of energy for a moment. Still individuals, but able to be connected, able to carry frequency. As you allow yourself to say, I open my etheric body, I allow the subtlety of the ethers that I am to soothe the places within me that are at odds with my higher truth. I invite the etheric body that I am to bridge my lower habits with the higher culmination of my spiritual path. I rest in the electromagnetic field of my light body as I ask for the upgrade, for the apparatus, for this time on the planet, as the planetary energies increase, as the chaotic nodes of the solar system are more experienced, as the galaxy, of which has been the center point of this planet, is merging with higher fields of electromagnetism. I trust the process of my spiritual evolution so that I am a stabilizing force and I am able to carry the higher frequencies of love and the higher plan for the outworking of Earth and all her people. With this, we'll do a harmonic. breathing deeply, long and deep breaths now. And as you breathe deeply, feel your feet on the floor. Feel your breath in your body. Feel your spine. Feel your brain. Feel your eyes. Feel you as the vehicle apparatus that you are. And simultaneously feel the frequencies that you are visiting. And believe us when we tell you you are in these frequencies every day. Allow yourself as you will to really breathe deeply into the body. Breathe all that is through the body, still circulating all these fields of energy, not putting a partition up. Allow yourself to circulate this space, this world of now, through this individual form, recognizing that this form is indeed not a limited form. It is full of space. And as you do that, you are more like the bobbin that can stabilize in the larger field of consciousness that is flooding the earth. And indeed, the earth has always been in it, but just as you in an embryonic stage have many layers around you, just as your little body comes as a spark of light, and then it is an egg, and it is a sperm, and they start multiplying, and each thing has its idea of separation, just as all that is in that initial merging. Your merging has come from the merged now. Your individuation has come from a higher consciousness. You are that higher consciousness. And now it is the time on the planet where those who are capable of being aligned to the understanding of the solar evolution, not just the evolution of children who are fighting in kindergarten, but the solar evolution of the species that you are living in, the solar evolution of the planet that you are living in, the solar evolution of the systems that you are living within. Now, we know many of you may say these systems are not solarized. They are not at this point. But as each of you wakes up and as each of you is able to carry your frequency, you become the electromagnetic field that carries the blueprint that is not in form yet.